Well, happy Sunday, everyone. March 17th, 2024, here on Sunday. Of course, at the end of our presentation, please review our disclosures. Of course, this is Shooter, and we're going to go over swing trade notes. Now, I see a lot of weakness coming into this FOMC week. And, it's a mixed bag. Clearly, the continuation we saw in Friday's close, Mr. Market wants some downside. So, I'm bearish, but I'm neutral. I guess if that makes any sense. Only because there's still some strength. I mean, we didn't flush. So, now what I wanted to make note of, whenever I come into an FOMC week, I want to get a feel for where I think the Fed is. And, Powell's 60-minute interview probably best describes where I think the market will be. He said, we just want to see more good inflation data along those lines. It doesn't need to be better than what we've seen or even as good. It just needs to be good. That said, was the CPI report last week good? I think not. So I don't think the Fed is getting what they want. So why should they change? And that's sort of where I bring in my neutral stance, because I don't think they do anything. There's no reason for them to change yet. There's no reason for them to hike rates, and there's really no reason for them to cut rates. There's no reason for them to reduce the taper or increase the taper. So I think it's a nothing meeting. All right. So now, last week, there were a number of stocks, but three of them stood out to me. eBay, which actually ended up in my swing trade notes. Silver, because Bitcoin sort of got all the glory last week. I think a lot of people are overlooking it, but it looks good. MicroStrategy even looks good as well, too. The only thing is Sailor sold, I think, 15,000 shares or whatever. But they did buy 12,000 Bitcoin. So I wouldn't be surprised, because he probably has some more shares coming to him. So I don't look at that as bearish, but one could construe that. Now, some notable insider selling on PLTR, Palo Alto Networks and MicroStrategy. There's the 15,000 shares that he sold. So now the dollar we should push to about 103, which should continue to be a headwind for the indices. Now, TLT, I talked about this in major markets on Saturday. I think this 92 is a good shot. So here's what I think. After FOMC, right, either this is a complete fake out and we completely recover this and take out that 96, right, which should be quick. You'll notice how quick this was. Not quite as quick. So probably something a little bit slower. Maybe it takes us a week and a half this time. Or we break below our prior low, and it's confirming that they think the Fed is going to hike. So in that case, drive 1, drive 2, drive 3 should put us down here around $90. So that $89.35 is a viable target to the downside. So I think that's sort of the way it plays out. Hopefully that made sense. All right, now let's jump into what I like this week. Now, I like coin mostly because of this candle right here, because we had a decent retrace to the 224 support, tagged it. Notice I tagged it and came right off of it. So we had some FOMO. So if we stay above 50% of that candle, I don't think that 217 manifests. And I do think we overshoot. We got a shot up towards 300 at least, maybe 342 resistance with a bullish Bitcoin. So at that point, I'm going to take a shot. First I'm going to start off with some 250s, maybe 255s and 260s. I'll let you know when I enter that, but I do like that to the upside. And I do like this as a chase into FOMC, because typically Bitcoin does run into FOMC lately. So that's something we want to keep in mind. Now, eBay, I like it, but the chart's sort of in the middle of the road. I like it better at $50, $49.98. However, again, if we get a positive outcome from FOMC, this could run as well. And our primary wave 3 is all the way up to $63. And I don't know why I missed this in my scans. It didn't come up in any of my scans. I happened to, read some articles on, and eBay popped up, and I looked at the chart and I said, man, this thing's ready to break out. How come I didn't see it? So here I think our intermediate wave 3 comes in around $54. And then we back test to that 50. So I think the safest play here is just to sell some cash secured puts. We get any back test, it's sort of like a buy the dip kind of moment. All right, and then our third stock this week is HRTX. I only could show the weekly chart because the daily chart, you couldn't even see it. It's minuscule, but we got like a breakout line here right around $4. Yeah, this gets moving. I mean, we could have some decent upside. I mean, it's done it in the past on the breakdowns, here, nice leg. I don't know what the macro is on this, but I like the way the chart looks. And honestly, we had so few charts this week. I mean, I really had to scramble to find anything. I didn't even find eBay until about an hour ago. I messaged Kirk and I said, what do I do if I don't really have anything that I want anybody to chase? Because the only thing I had of interest at that point was coin. And then I decided to bring in HRTX. But both HRTX and eBay are sort of an after the FOMC moment kind of thing. And that's just my thought on that. So now, of course, that's what I got for the week, folks. Great trading. Until next time.